everybody, and welcome to the Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 177. I'm Casey. Hi. I don't know how to do jokes very well. Patient's kind of here, but in chat typing, because, I don't know, microphone problems. He didn't specify why, but, you know, he can't talk. We have Spoken.
Hey.
We have Weasel.
You.
And we have Kenshu.
Hi, I'm Kenshi618. Man, Injustice is a great game. You guys should really go get that.
It looks really good. I am tempted to get it, except it's on PlayStation and not on PC.
You and your PC bias.
It's just awkward and a pain in the ass to use my PlayStation. That's all.
Is the story any different from the last Injustice game?
It's continuation of the last story from last.
Give it a miss.
Why? Any particular reason? Or
he doesn't like
because the plot of the Injustice game was the plot of pretty much every Silver Age Superman comic. Like, I'm sure I've complained about this to you guys before.
Yeah, I think you did last week, yeah.
I don't remember it.
Every time Silver Age comics authors wanted to shake things up, instead of doing a huge multi-cross, they only ever had two ideas. Either Superman gets spat, or Superman is evil.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but again, here's the thing. Some of the Superman is evil stories have actually been interesting stories. Like, Kingdom Come was solid. And that's essentially kind of what it is.
Hey, you said come.
Ugh. It's kind of like that, and it's probably not done as well as Kingdom Come was, to be perfectly honest, but it's still solid.
Saying not done as well as Kingdom Come is not saying a lot. Most of DC stuff is not done as well as Kingdom Come. It was Kingdom Come.
Yeah, so, you know, it's a solid story. It's not gonna, you know, be like top 10 superhero stories ever or anything, but it's still solid.
It's a fighting game.
Yeah.
It's not going to be top 10 anything ever. It's a fighting game.
Okay. In terms of fighting games, like, NetherRealm have probably done it the best in terms of story, just because of how they implement it. Like, theirs are probably done better than pretty much anything else. Like, I think Dead or Alive tried to copy it once. I think it was for Dead or Alive 5. Only they cocked it up massively, and it didn't work anywhere near as well.
So if there's a Silver Age, is there a Bronze or Copper or Gold Age?
There is Gold, there is Silver, there is Dark. I don't know. Is there a Bronze?
I'm sure there's a Bronze.
There's something that's called the Bronze Age of comics, but it tends to blend in with the Dark and Modern Ages. It's generally the Silver Age is taken to last through the dead area of the 1950s into the 60s, with the Dark Age starting somewhere in there, blending with the Modern Age around the 90s.
I thought the Dark Age was the 90s, to be honest.
No.
Kind of.
Is it?
Like, I'd say probably the definitive core of the Dark Age was the Archie Comics crossover with the Punisher.
What?
Yeah, that happened.
Okay.
Also, one moment.
He's just leaving us on that, apparently. Okay. So now I'm just left wondering who got shot. Was it Betty or Veronica?
Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
I wouldn't know. I've seen the ads for it, but I've never actually seen the comic. I probably should rectify this at some point.
Let's just let those sleeping dogs fly.
By the way, thanks, Patient. He's looked up the age time spans. So
yeah, Patient is here. For today, he is research and typed wisecracks, I assume.
Yeah. Thanks, Patient. Solid. So Golden Age was basically when all of the superheroes were created ever. Silver Age, well, save for Batman, I think that was like 1934 or something.
38, if I recall.
Oh, well, that's probably the start of the Golden Age then, in fairness. Silver Age was when everything kind of went to shit and the comics code happened. Then
That's 56 to 70.
Yep. Bronze Age was 70 to 1985. I don't know what happened then at all.
Basically nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 85 to present was the Modern Age, which I assume the Dark Age is like 85 to 2000 something, probably, at a guess.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure 85 is when Frank Miller did his year one.
There we go. Batman was 39.
And 85, I think, I may or may not be wrong, my years may be off, but I'm pretty sure that's when DC did their like big old crossover Crisis and Infinite Universes.
Yeah, the
And
Crisis on Infinite Earths was DC's attempt in the mid-'80s to unify all of the disparate, mutually exclusive storylines they developed over the decades, which worked pretty well. And then they jumped the shark, like, on a fucking rocket ship.
What?
DC Comics went from doing one reboot designed to unify all of the disparate universes that worked really well and was very well critically received into like 5 supposedly status quo destroying reboots or similar in the last few years.
Yeah, and then which one of them was the one where Superboy Prime destroys everything ever?
Infinite Crisis.
Yeah, Infinite Crisis.
Infinite Crisis was I'll kill you to death.
Was what?
Infinite Crisis was the one that spawned the line, I'll kill you to death. That by a villain that we were supposed to take seriously.
Yeah, Superboy Prime was not great.
Roy Prime was, I think, the low point of DC Comics writing. It's what I would like to say, but they keep proving me wrong.
Yeah.
Are they done with New 52's attempts yet? Or?
They've done New 52 wrapped up, and they've started a new universe-shaking reboot called DC Rebirth.
Oh, fantastic.
As of late last year. And it goes to show how utterly irrelevant continuity shifts have become, that I only found this out when I had reason to Google something for a superhero campaign that I'm running a few days ago.
Hi. I'm in that.
And it is going pretty well.
Chicken Raptors.
Except when people don't show up like me. Or the DM loses the notes. Or
yeah, that
other
happens.
reasons. Yeah.
Wow, Casey, really? Yeah, you can just work that knife in there.
Hey, I shot on myself first.
Yep. And to be fair, yeah, I've got some flack to take there. I shouldn't have lost my notes.
No, that's alright. Happens. Yeah, my first D&D game, I forgot, I think, an entire dungeon worth of files accidentally, so, you know, it happens. I also forgot dice as well. That was important too.
You what, mate?
Yeah, we have to very quickly implement dice rolling applications. That was not ideal.
You forgot dice.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say to that.
Well, I don't have any dice in this house at all, so you had to roll for me the first few sessions before you finally said, just use an app.
Yeah. So, yeah, comics and stuff. But yeah, Injustice looks really... I like all, like... There's, like, progression and stuff that you can do. You can unlock, like... I'd say character costumes, but you can actually unlock, from what I can tell, pieces of character costumes and actually kind of mix and match, which is really cool. So, I want that game to the point where I bought the first one on Steam, and that's not as good, but, you know, still a NetherRealm fighting game. I don't like my controller because it's not accurate enough, apparently. It keeps like making me jump when I'm trying to do back forward or forward back moves, and that's really annoying.
There, Casey.
Yeah, friggin' fighting games. I'm never good at them. Yeah, I can't really complain too much about the controller when a lot of it is user error because I suck. But whatever.
I'm very bad at turn-based and real-time strategy games.
Well.
Which sucks because some of them look really good and have amazing stories.
Yeah.
Some of them do. Most of them don't.
Yeah, in other, I guess, superhero-related things, I caught up on some of the Marvel films. Like
nice.
one of them. I watched Doctor Strange over the past week. I can't remember when. That's a pretty cool film. Cumberbatch's accent is not the best in the world.
Which is ironic because he actually, hails from the UK. But then
yeah, but he's playing an American and doing an American accent. That's the problem.
Wait, he's trying to do an American accent?
Yeah.
Yep.
What the hell? I couldn't tell from the trailers.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem. Yeah.
That kind of is a problem, actually.
Yeah.
Patient has a query.
Yeah.
What's our opinions on Deadpool? I watched it recently. It was not as good as people hyped it up to be. Nowhere near.
I loved it.
It was
good.
Fair, it was not spectacular as genre saving. Ooh, this is why films should be R-rated. No, it was good.
To be fair, it's Deadpool. It's Deadpool. It's not what people go to for a spectacular genre-changing film. It's what people go to for basically a fourth wall-breaking circle jerk.
Yeah, and I don't find those funny, so I didn't find it spectacular in any sense.
It's not really a date movie unless you're my girlfriend and I. We saw it as a date movie.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so I wasn't a fan of that one. I was a fan of Doctor Strange mostly because of the imagery, and a lot of the magic stuff was basically New Age mumbo jumbo. But
welcome to Doctor Strange.
Well, ish. I mean, a lot of the magic systems for Doctor Strange in the comics is a lot of Celtic and paganistic stuff, and this one is more Eastern New Age stuff.
Which makes sense because Doctor Strange himself started out as a more Eastern-inspired thing.
Good cape, best friend.
Yeah, I like the cape as well. That was cool. Yeah. Yeah, I like that film. It was good. The surrealist stuff was great to watch, and just mind-bending imagery is always fun for me. Yeah, and
Must resist urge.
I don't know how spoilery I can get on this, probably not very at all, but I went to the cinema and watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2 yesterday.
I haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy 1 yet.
Okay, here's my opinions on the two films, and I'm not going to spoil anything. The first one was actually kind of standard as far as superhero films, plural, go. It's, it's superheroes. There's a bit more comedy to it than most of them, but it's still fairly standard.
Well, that's because Star-Lord is a giant troll.
Yeah, but, it's still fairly standard superhero plot and tone as well. The second one leans quite a bit harder towards parody.
Huh.
There are a lot of moments that are just, standard superhero bit, yay, everyone's posing, and then subversion as a joke, and it's pretty good, actually. I'd probably say it's better than the first one. So
really? I've been hearing it's not as good as the first one.
I don't know why people would say that.
Subjective opinions.
More of a parody, and people don't like parodies from Marvel movies.
But it's a good parody from people that apparently get it. They get the things that people like about Marvel films. and thus poke fun at them in a lighthearted way. That's good. That's how you do a good parody.
Right, but this is superhero films, and that's serious business for the fans.
Yeah, well.
The fans are dicks.
Yeah, let's take a joke. Yeah.
Not if you're paying for something else.
Some of the stuff was a little trite. Like, there were a couple of moments, like, Groot gets a little bit mascot-y, which, yeah.
It's Groot. He already is.
Yeah. And there was another moment which it was, you know, a really, like, it was kind of overly done heartstrings moment, and it didn't work for me for reasons that are probably just very specific to me, but, you know, it felt
Do you know that Rocket Raccoon was named after the song Rocky Raccoon?
Yes.
Okay.
No, but I had not heard of either of those things until Guardians of the Galaxy 1 came out. Actually, I hadn't heard of the song until just now when you mentioned it, so no is my answer to that question. But yeah, that's a good film, and yeah, totally recommend seeing it because it's a really good film, and don't listen to whiny fanboys that don't understand that parodies are supposed to be funny and make fun of things.
Unless you are yourself a whiny fanboy, in which case listen to your brethren and stay away from this interesting and original film because you will hate it.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, so superhero films are still cool despite being around for a long time at this point. Like, there is probably well over a day of footage in terms of Marvel films right now.
I think it's closer to 2 now.
Yeah.
Like, there was a marathon viewing of all the Marvel films up to that point with the release of Age of Ultron that took, like, a day and a half.
A day and a half as in 36 hours, or a day and a half as in 12 hours and then sleep and then 12 hours?
As in straight 36 hours.
Oh boy. And that's not even considering Agent Carter, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage.
Yeah, that's just considering the movies, not the good bits.
Yeah. So it's probably actually... How many seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are there?
There's 3 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now, so that's, another 2 or 3 days of footage right there?
Yeah.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of got too convoluted for me.
There's Agent Carter, which went on for, I think, at least 4 seasons, I want to say.
Something in that ballpark, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a season each of all of the Marvel shows, so that's another 4 seasons. So yeah, that's about a week. About a week of footage of all of the Marvel stuff. Wow. I'm honestly baffled that most of it is, at the very least, good. In fact, I'd say all of it is probably at the very least good.
Why do you think everyone's so pissed the DC stuff sucks?
Yeah.
Because it's DC, and because they're supposed to be the first and best, and everyone's pissed that they keep not living up to expectations.
Not living up to expectations is probably a little too nice of a way to put it. I'd call it shitting the bed, personally, but... Yeah.
Sorry, everyone's pissed that at this point they keep living down to expectations.
Yeah, that's probably more accurate too, yeah. They have all of the best superheroes. Marvel have the ones that people have sometimes heard of, maybe if they were in a film at some point. To the point where they had to sell some of them off.
From a storytelling standpoint, I'd say that Marvel has the best heroes.
Yeah, but DC has the ones people actually give a shit about, like Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. Like, the big 3 of them are the ones people think of when you say superhero. And they can't do a film with them.
Well, yeah, that's because from a storytelling standpoint, Marvel has the better heroes, the ones that are actually, flawed and human and relatable, as opposed to Superman, who might as well be the fucking page image for boring, invincible hero.
I'd say that's not fair. The story you tell with Superman isn't Superman, it's Clark Kent. And that's probably where they're really getting it wrong.
No, the story you tell with Superman is Clark Kent. The story most writers tell with Superman is Superman.
Yeah.
That's because you're actually a competent writer.
Yeah, the point of Superman is the man part. The super is boring. By definition, that's kind of the point. It's the part that he's trying to keep himself grounded where all of the interesting story stuff happens.
The super part used to be boring. Like, Golden Age Superman, despite being Superman, was an interesting character even when he wasn't being Clark Kent. And then they got into the Silver Age, and they gave him super telekinesis and super ventriloquism and super knitting. And I've not actually made anything up so far. All of those were actual powers. And he went from being an interesting character who could have challenging fights into basically Crystal Dragon Jesus. And he's got to be a compelling character. And I think that's the point where DC power creep kind of came into play, and most of their characters stopped being compelling.
You remember when he chained planets together and pulled them?
Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason in the DC story, right, that I have my main character intentionally avoid anything to do with certain characters. Knowingly avoid the shit. So I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, pretty much as soon as you go into space for DC, that's when everything just kind of falls apart.
Which is why I find Marvel more compelling, because Marvel's mid to upper tier is people who, with a bit of prep time, can take down city blocks. DC's mid to upper tier, in terms of the kind of characters that readers see on a regular basis, are people who can accidentally sneeze and then the earth.
I accidentally the earth.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, upper tier Marvel is pretty much Hulk, right?
Upper tier Marvel and DC are both reality warping levels of all powerful, but it's the upper mid tier, which is Hulk and similar. The ones that, like I said, in Marvel can take down a city block with a bit of prep time. And hell, even leaving that aside, like I said, interesting, relatable characters.
Yeah. I think I've talked about this before, and I am absolutely cribbing points that someone else made that is way smarter than me. His name's Kyle Colgren. You should look him up, by the way. It's nice that pretty much all of the characters for Marvel have an internal philosophy built into the character. Like, Tony Stark is supposed to be the objectivist kind of philosophy, because all of his villains are basically using the things he creates in ways that he doesn't like. Like, they have the Stark name on them, and they're using it for things like, terrorism, or just, being a shithead. And his job is to stop them because they're making the Stark name look bad.
I wouldn't say that modern Tony Stark is very much the objectivist hero. He tends more towards transhumanism in a lot of his modern experiences.
Really?
Yeah. Like, there was a major plot point a few years back where he basically used the comics version of Extremis to nanite augment himself.
That sounds amazing, but massively apart from what, the original run of Iron Man was, way back in the day.
Well, everything is massively different from the original run of the comics back in the day.
Granted, it's probably barely even worth mentioning modern comics, to be perfectly honest with you, but yeah, but that's what Tony Stark was when it first started out, and that's the interpretation that the films have decided to go with, and that really works because it's kind of relatable in a way. It's a very specific philosophy that drives him, and it makes sense if you take it that way. and that is a theme that just follows him throughout all of the films that he's in. And, like, Thor is all about being,
Crystal Dragon Jesus.
I was going to say rulership, to be honest. Like, his thing is all about being worthy of leading. But, yeah, okay, Crystal Dragon Jesus, if you want to play it that way.
Can Thor make lightning without his hammer?
In the films or in the comics?
Films.
In the films, he can't really do anything without his hammer, is my understanding.
Huh.
Thor is basically like a Clark Tech alien, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's stronger than a normal human, and he's got some other mojo going on, but his main thing is the hammer.
Yeah.
Actually, the movies...
That was the first thing that happened in the films, was Odin locks all of Thor's power inside the hammer.
Movies set up that they're not actually gods. They're aliens that evolved to the point where their tech is like magic.
Yeah,
right.
Pretty much.
Which is why I said he's basically a Clark Tech alien.
Yeah. Like, there are aliens that are magic, like the Jotuns and things like that, but yeah.
Wrong series, patient.
Yeah, patient says Martian Manhunter. That's an alien that is psychic. Like, everything about him is psychic.
He's DC. We're talking about Marvel.
Yeah.
Everything about him is psychic except for the parts of him which are magic.
What I really like Young Justice did is that the Martians are still around as a civilization. Martian Manhunter isn't the last of his kind anymore. Like he usually is.
He was for a while there.
Yeah, but what I really like Young Justice did is that the Martian civilization is still around. There's even an episode where they try to send a satellite out to better communicate with them as neighbors.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm not a fan of how the Green Lantern mythos in impacted their whole thing. Like,
yeah, why is I have a genuine question. Why is every quasi-omnipotent being in DC just like a massive bag of dicks?
Is the what's his name? Is it the Allfather or is it the Highfather? The New Genesis dude.
Highfather, the ruler of New Genesis, is in his own way, yes, just a massive dick bag. I mean, this is the guy who basically sold his own son into slavery, knowing that he would be continually tortured by his arch nemesis, in order for a chance at maybe civilizing the son of said nemesis.
Also, Patient just dropped the power corrupts idiom, which is an idiom that, like, most idioms are just kind of a rule of thumb kind of thing.
Power corrupts, absolute power corrupts, absolutely.
Yeah, not always. See, like, a lot of rulers through medieval times where they were completely unopposed kings or whatever particular despotic power they had, like, I don't know, emperors and such. Some of them were pretty cool dudes that used the power well and, like, weren't dickheads for the most part.
And there's the other ones.
Then there's the other ones, but yeah, it's a rule of thumb. It's not universal at all.
Who here has heard of Kublai Khan?
Everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he was the grandson, I believe, of Genghis Khan. And as we know, Genghis Khan was a pretty hardcore dude. Mm-hmm. So when Marco Polo heard he was about to meet the grandson of Genghis Khan, he was naturally terrified. And he was quite surprised that Kublai Khan's reign was much more civilized than his grandfather's. Kublai was apparently a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, well, in fairness, there's only so much aggressive territorial expansion you can do before, holy shit, everything's breaking in the places that we took over because we didn't actually set up any infrastructure. So there was a period where that was probably necessary. Why did I open Chrome? I accidentally opened Chrome. I'm an idiot.
but you can't live without it. Use it on your phone.
I've got Chrome open. I've got no problems right now.
I can't
Your internet's
see
probably
shit.
better
I can't
than
use my
his.
phone for anything. It's terrible.
Oh, you're on
yeah,
your phone?
I have like a 21-inch monitor, but I'm going to use this 2-inch fucking screen to see everything. That's a great idea.
Well, have your
Seems
problem
sensible.
raising connection issues. Got to get creative.
My phone still connects to my Wi-Fi network.
Shut the fuck up.
Admit that you are wrong.
No.
Hi, I'm Country 618, and I have a complex.
Yeah. You just not getting this? There was no plan.
There is no plan for the podcast. It's just fucking talk and stuff.
We're just shooting the shit.
Yeah, essentially. So, there's another thing I could talk about, but it's probably close to an end type thing that is where I should talk about it. So, anyone else do anything cool over the past week or so?
I've got a Minecraft thing set up on the Twitch platform.
Yes, Tater made his own special mod pack, tailor made for me.
Weaselcraft.
Yes, that's what he's calling it.
Okay, I dread to ask what it consists of, but
There is nothing sexy in it.
how's it a weasel pack then?
Because
God.
it's stuff about Minecraft that Weasel enjoys. Plus some stuff that other friends of mine enjoy. Plus some stuff that I personally enjoy. Plus some convenience shit.
Like Thaumcraft, Britannia, flowers, and Decocraft, which is an interior decorator's you.
Decocraft is Weasel's main connection to Minecraft.
Just making cool places and stuff?
Yeah, pretty
Decocraft
much.
is pretty much an interior decorator's you.
Weasel likes the shinies.
Shinies! I also like Britannia for the flowers.
So basically, Weasel likes the shinies.
I'll be honest, that's like basically how I played Minecraft too. Like the whole mining and getting resources stuff was all a means to an end so I could build my glass palace in the sky. So
That's what most people do with Minecraft, which is why a lot of the mods tend to focus on giving you ways to more efficiently mine resources so that you can make your glass castle in the sky even bigger.
yeah.
And Tinker's Construct gives you a way to make better glass.
Tater has a dark matter farm that he set up, and I siphoned some dark matter from it to make some armor for myself.
Damn you!
Right when he wasn't looking to.
Oh yeah, one of the mods that I included was Project E, which is basically conversion from one material to another using a special item that sorts items for conversion based on how hard it is to get your hands on it.
In English?
That was in English.
Okay, layman's terms.
Okay.
But yeah, getting that set up and reading through some really long fanfics with some really horrifically disappointing endings was basically my week.
Yeah, I feel you on that one a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. But again, that's a thing I should talk about when we're ending, because it's very, very grudgingly going to be a recommendation. So,
Oh,
yeah, so grudgingly, you have no idea. I got into another fight with a writer. Anyway,
Oh, really?
I might have an idea.
We shall see.
Oh, I can't wait for this story.
it's not a fun story.
It will be for me.
Weasel, your sadism is showing.
Aw,
Yeah.
so we...
Kenchua, you do anything else cool aside from playing Justice? You must have done something else.
I updated story. That was the thing.
You did?
Yeah. You
Oh, yeah,
commented on it, and then you.
Yeah, I did, because you made a cock up, and
Yeah.
I thanked you for putting the channel.
I know. The last fucking line, too.
Yeah.
Damn. So mad.
You're welcome.
Oh, you weren't the only one that said anything about it.
Oh, I'm glad. Because half of the
Yeah.
joy I got from that was pointing out how you cocked up, and, you know, it's nice to see that people piled on you for that. That brings me joy.
Yeah, great.
And that the only one whose sadism is showing.
Hey, he's topped out several categories on the site, okay? I need to take points where I can get them.
You're like a mosquito trying to bite at a musk.
I don't know how he was ending that sentence because the mic cut out, but it doesn't really matter. I'm like a mosquito biting anything.
You're like a mosquito biting at a muskox, and my ears are swatting you away.
If you were actually that nonchalant about him correcting you, then we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
It's very true, actually.
Muskox. I'm going to have to Google that.
It's a big damn cow.
Muskox.
Let's see. I'm not going to be here next week. I should.
Oh, so it's like a buffalo thing.
A big damn cow.
So you're not going to be here? I assume event thing?
Yeah, yep. Got a wrestling thingy to do.
Cool.
So I will not be here.
Will it be
Is
filmed?
moose meat considered venison?
Nobody cares, Weasel. Is it going to be filmed?
I don't know. Maybe.
So you should set up someone to film it.
Don't tell me what to do. I'm not even sure I'm going to be on the show. Like, it's supposed to be a seminar. And if you're good, then you'll be on the show. And if you're really good, then the dude who's running the seminar will try his show in Philly, which I want to do.
Fair enough.
Because it's actually a fairly big independent promotion. That foot in my, I want my foot in that door.
So, the one at Philadelphia, I feel really, really weird saying Philly. That one will be filmed, though, right?
It's probably going to be streamed, pay-per-view.
Okay, this is a really weird scenario for me to be in, but I would consider actually watching a pay-per-view of wrestling if that's the case, if you're in it.
I'm only going to be, if I'm in it, I'm only going to 10 to 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, but it would also be the greatest thing ever.
You're strange, man.
I'd put money down to support my boy.
You know, that's fair, okay? That's cool. I'll remember this because if one day I get booked in England, I'm staying at your place.
You want to stay at like 300 miles from any venue that you would actually be performing at. Okay.
Hold on. I need to pull up Google Maps to help me on this. All right. Where is your freaking town called?
Stoke. As in a fire.
I know how to spell Stoke. All right. We're going to figure this shit out. If I get booked in Birmingham, how far away are you from Birmingham?
That's about 50 miles, I think.
That's fine. Stuff. Oh, hell yeah. This is no problem. Now, if I get booked in London, that's a problem. But if I get booked in like Liverpool or Manchester, that's fine.
All right. Apparently that's happening. Kenji wants to sleep on my couch, apparently.
Better than buying a hotel or some shit.
That's true, I suppose. Yeah, so Weasel, you do anything cool?
Well, this is probably something I'd rather save for the end, but I was reading a friend's fanfic for a while. Like, I even pulled an all-nighter. Not last night, but the night before, I pulled an all-nighter to read this friend's fanfic.
Fair enough. Some cool dedication.
I'm Insomniac. It's not that big a deal for me.
Okay, question: Was the fic good?
Yes.
Oh, fair enough then. Yeah, that's not so big dedication then, I guess. Like, if it was bad and you still like stayed up reading a bad story because it was your friend's story, then that's some respectable dedication. But if it's good anyway, then, like, whatever.
I would call that masochism before I would call it dedication.
Yeah, like, I haven't read Kenshi's shitty stories. I specifically mean the shitty ones.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. I haven't read your shitty stories. The, God, what was it called?
Don't worry about it.
I think it was the first one that you did. No, was it the first one? I think it was the first one.
Let's let those sleeping dogs slide. Finished it. I'm not, and it's just there.
It is just there. Like, you're not wrong. Again, still respect for finishing it, but you know, it's still just there.
It's slightly less respect for doing it in the first place.
Everyone has a first story that is kind of shitty. Okay, I do.
Yeah.
Cecil does. Spoken does. Patient does.
Yeah.
Everyone does.
Summon Spirits Infinity will never see the light of day ever again because I don't even have a copy of it anymore.
Yeah, like,
Neither do I, but my copy is up on fanfiction.net, so
Yeah.
it's.
I could shit on Kenshi all day, and still at the end of that day,
Kinky.
day, he would still be at the top of several categories on the site. Okay, so
Shit on him all day, kinky.
I mean, people do that. Theoretically.
My first ever fanfic, Summon Spirits Infinity, was for it was for some Tales of Symphonia. I deleted it, then lost the copy because of a broken flash drive. There's no trace of my first story ever on the entire internet.
Oh, I'm sure
I
if I wanted
guarantee
to.
you were wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong.
see, here's the thing: we said the same thing about Zero's story, and I tried to find it using the Wayback Machine, and it didn't work. You can't
Well,
really use that.
not
for
the
fanfiction.
Wayback Machine, but there's other archival sites. Wayback Machine doesn't index fanfiction.net.
Spoken. Which ones do? You sound knowledgeable, like you know the answer to this question. So which ones do?
I would have to look them up. I had them bookmarked a while back, but I lost my bookmarks list to a hard formatting a couple of months ago.
Aw.
We will find those stories that Zero wrote way back in the day.
And then we're going to read it out loud.
Yes, we are. We will
Do a live reading podcast.
We will spend
And then
an
we'll do
entire
the same
podcast
music.
just reading them aloud.
And then we'll do the same Tales series.
Patient says sinister laughter.
My what series?
Your first fanfic that you said is nowhere on the internet.
To be honest, I wish I still had a copy because I'd like to see how far I've come.
So isn't sinister laughter for patient just like
Regular laughter.
Yeah, just yeah.
Oh, that's mean, guys.
No, his laugh is epically sinister. It's great.
Screw you all. I'm sorry, patient.
Yeah, his regular voice is like chocolate, but when he laughs, it's like, I don't know.
Did you just say his regular voice is like chocolate?
Yeah. I'm perfectly secure, thank you very much.
Ellipses.
You made patient ellipse.
Is there a
Patient
word for
just-
like a double ellipsis?
lap disbelief?
Patient, just accept the compliment for what it is.
Yeah. Sorry, I need to mime the typing too.
Oh, that's not miming anything. I'm actually typing a response to a friend who wants to get in on that Minecraft server.
Oh, fair enough.
He's having some trouble with Bane Miner.
Hmm.
So tomorrow's going to be great.
Why's that?
Because at wrestling camp, I'm probably going to be in charge of having matches, which means I get to like have matches for like.
Your mic keeps cutting out.
I don't know why.
I didn't get the important parts of that.
Okay.
Sure, patient. I'll read your brief summary about your week. Never mind.
Okay.
Casey can do it. Casey can do it.
I can do it.
He wants us to imitate his voice.
All right, cool. This is going to happen. Patient's going to tell us about his week.
All righty then. Let's do this.
Oh, God. You should not be so good at that.
I've spent most of this week on the road to and from Nauvoo, Illinois on a church trip. The whole town seems to have been made into an interactive museum, which is cool. Also saw a lot of cool sights on the way to and from the place, including a 4,000-acre wildlife preserve. It was wonderful indeed. Aside from that, I turned 24 2 days ago, and my girlfriend gave me a beautiful birthday present. We publicized our relationship last night, so I'll say it here. My girlfriend is Vikinger, author of the One Piece essay 12 Red Lines. Grew to care about each other while writing the crossover omake that published 2 days ago. She's absolutely amazing.
Okay, Tater, you just talk because I'm getting hot.
Well
what?
done on the voice, first of all. Second of all, way to go, Patient.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. Good job, patient. Good job, Jekyll. Good job, Jekyll.
Patient, I hope that I didn't butcher your voice too badly.
You certainly turned me on.
Patient
Oh.
says it was well done.
Yeah. Everyone's all compliments today. Kenshi, you suck.
Fuck you. You suck. I'm the best. If anyone in this podcast needs to be complimented, it's me.
Tater, you're my boyfriend. It should be normal that shit you do turns me on.
Yeah, the zombie noises are not so great, though. That's probably not so appealing.
Shit, sorry.
It's alright. Okay.
At least it's not a chicken raptor.
A chicken raptor in your head.
I'm not Kimchi618, but I wonder if he'd be better suited to just typing.
I don't even know what that means.
It's Patient's very polite way of telling you to shut up.
You know what? No, I won't shut up. And right after I say that, I can't think of anything else to say.
I know you weren't being impolite, Patient. That's why I said your very polite way of saying that very impolite thing.
No, he means he was not telling Kenshi to shut up, even if it was polite.
Then I am apparently very bad at parsing Patient's snark today.
I don't know why I'm responding to text just with
Because you don't know how to word today.
Apparently not. Yeah, I've just been stumbling and stammering and getting words in the wrong order for no reason.
Patient says, I was merely musing on whether or not Casey would prefer that Kenshi had to type and I was speaking.
Your voice wasn't as good as Spoken's voice.
I know.
That's not surprising. I've done actual VA work before.
He's also a classically trained operatic actor.
That said,
Or as I like to call it, theater weeb.
Shut up. I mean, you're right, but still shut up. Now, granted, that VA work was for a project that ended up falling through, but it was still VA work.
It's true. Alright. We've been going for almost an hour, I think. Let me just.
Yeah,
check
we've been
that.
going for like 58 minutes now.
Yeah, around about. So, I guess it's time for recommendations.
Casey's begrudging recommendation.
Just
Casey,
lie
why don't
back
you
and
go
think of
first?
England.
Yes!
Funny that you should use that particular phrasing.
Why, does this involve anal?
That was a complete non sequitur. Well done.
Well, okay, in a series that Bear Grylls did...
Weasel. Just leave it.
Okay.
Right. So, I'm going to get this out of the way, and then we're going to have good recommendations. Someone has a good recommendation, right?
Yes.
No.
And Kenchua never has a recommendation, so it's fine.
Nope.
You suck, Kenchi. You suck.
You suck. I'm the best. I can't recommend myself.
Alright,
Anyway.
so, against my better judgment, my recommendation is for a story called High School DxD Game of the Year Edition.
It's actually pronounced High School DD.
Nobody cares. This is a fic written by, I think his name was Silent Songbird. And it is a surprisingly impressive subversion of what most game fics do.
Ooh.
Typing is loud.
Sorry.
So, what this fic is, when you read the first couple of chapters, you get the impression that it's like a lot of game fics, where they have a bunch of stats that supposedly mean something, but then the character will be able to do stuff and say stuff that would imply they have much better stats that would be required to say cool things and do cool things. Yeah. Actually doing that and making the stats make sense as for what the character can do is a massive pain in the ass. I'm trying not to be distracted by chat. And it's, generally speaking, not worth doing it. So what it seems like in the first couple of chapters is the writer is just not bothering to try and do that and just letting the character do whatever they're going to do, and the stats kind of secondary. Like, it's almost like there's no point to them at all. And then, like, one of the good things about this story is that it lets the protagonist cock up. Like, on a fairly regular basis, they will do things that will have very, very severe consequences. And that's not a thing you see very often in game fics. Most of the time, the character will just do all of the great things because it's a power fantasy. That's what game fics tend to be. So it's nice to see the protagonist be able to... It's nice to see the protagonist be able to fuck up sometimes. And then pretty much the big thing that I just talked about, the fudging stats to make the character be able to do things that they shouldn't be able to do, is entirely explained in a way that's, to be entirely honest, is actually kind of brilliant.
Oh.
And it's so good that I kind of don't want to spoil it. The only thing I will say is it actually kind of feels like a certain game that came out in 2015, and that is literally all I will say about it. Like,
what game?
I'm not going to say, that's the point. The way it's set up and the characters involved, it seems like such a shitty thing and just a terrible implementation of a story, but when it's actually done and you get to the end of the, I suppose you call it prologue arc, it makes so much sense. And it's amazing. I am so impressed by this author, considering it was basically their first real long-form story, and they come up with something like this. It astonished me.
So
That's
why
why
is this
That's why I'm recommending it, because that, at the very least, deserves a whole hell of a lot of credit.
So why is it a reluctant recommendation?
Yeah. Begrudging recommendation.
So, I don't know how familiar people are with High School DxD in general.
DD.
Nobody cares.
No one cares.
There is a character in it by the name of Fried Seltzen. He's a villain. He is explicitly stated to be a murderer, torturer, and rapist. It's never shown that he does that, but it's explicitly stated that he does that.
Mm-hmm.
In this fic, it is explicitly stated that he does that. It is explicitly shown that he does that.
Oh!
How fun.
Which, on the face of it, I don't have a problem with. If you want to go dark, then you fucking go dark. You have fun with it, so to speak.
Happy fun time.
What you don't then do is have the character demonstrate that they do that on a main character that is sympathetic, and then try and redeem the character. You don't then, after having all of that build-up of them being absolute scum, to the point of, in my eyes, no longer being a person, and then try and make them a fucking good guy. No. So, that is why I'm saying a reluctant recommendation. My recommendation is that you read the prologue arc, you read the first arc, and then you stop. So yeah, that's my
got heavy.
So, my recommendation is actually, I haven't actually read all the way through this one yet, but from what I've read thus far, it's looking to be really, really good. It's called Geniuses of Hard Work. It's an older Naruto fanfiction.
Okay, remember to link it so I remember to put it in.
I know, I'm doing it right now. It's on fanfiction.net, and it's actually complete, which is rare for a lot of older Naruto fanfic. But this one has Kakashi and Guy making a bet regarding which of their teams can get further through the Chunin exams. And the interesting thing is, as a part of this bet, they arrange a switch-about of their teams the day after the Chunin exams. Or, no, the Academy graduation exam. Naruto and Hinata end up on Guy's team with Lee, and Sakura ends up on Kurenai's team, which is never really given screen time, at least to the point I've gotten in the fic, which is the end of the wave arc.
Kurenai is on this bet. Is in on this bet too?
No, she just gets assigned Sakura instead of Hinata, and Neji and Tintin get shifted over to Kakashi's team. It's a really interesting fanfic that's got some good character development for all the characters.
Okay.
That's the only fic that I've read through this week that has yet to be a complete disappointment.
Fair enough. Weasel, what's your recommendation?
My recommendation is a RWBY fanfic called RWBY: Rise of the Shadow.
Okay.
Now, something you have to note about this fanfic is that, first off, the MC-kun, who was an original character, was created before Volume 2 began. So, some of him is a little canon violating, but by the time the fanfic began, it was too late to change that. The other thing to note is that this fanfic begins at the end of Volume 2. So, it has gone through a few rewrites before finally being posted, but it largely covers the events of Volume 3 and slightly before Volume 3, at least so far. There's 11 chapters, 74,500 words. It centers on a bat faunus who is a student at Beacon and is a Yang XOC fanfic. It's actually written by a friend of mine named Mal Maelstrom.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Remember to link it. Question.
Right.
Bat faunus, which part of the bat?
That's the problem. He has the ears of a bat, specifically he is specifically a fruit bat faunus, which means, yes, he loves fruit.
Sorry, I just got like a Team 4 star playing Batman with the man-bat stuff. Like,
he has the ears of a bat and the wings of a bat. That's the problem.
I'm not going to nitpick before having read it, but that's not a thing that is in canon.
He can fly.
Yeah. They get one part of the animal is the thing.
Yeah. There's also another faunus OC in the fanfic who has the ears and tail of a cat.
God, I spent so much time researching that fucking RWBY fic, I swear. Good God.
Hey, at least you did research. That's got you better than some authors.
Patient asks if my recommendation was a Naruto crossover. Yes. That's one of the elements that is weird about it, and seemed like it's just a shitty thing that should be really shitty, but isn't. He's going to link it for some reason. If your curiosity is driving you for some reason, there it is, I guess.
Give you an otherwise decent fic that runs a redemption arc for a character who raped someone on screen.
Technically speaking, it wasn't on screen. It was directly after that, and then the character dies because they were physically paralyzed at that point.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, they were in the hospital with a snapped neck. And then he did that.
Oh, fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it
awesome? What a fun end to a podcast this is.
Who did he, you know?
I don't need to know. I don't want to know. I'm fine with the information I have now. Matter of fact, I think the information I have right now is too much.
That's another good thing about this particular story, that it does well, that, you know, I liked about it until bad things happen. It actually brings a lot of the minor characters to the forefront and gives them interesting characterization and fun stuff like that. And the character that was the victim was Murayama, one of the anime-only characters that was in the Kendo Club.
Huh.
Yeah, so reluctant recommendation. Just stop after the first real arc. It's just gonna make you angry, probably. I spent several reviews and several discussions over PM trying to get him to see how really, really fucked up this idea was, and he was having none of it.
Wow, what a dick.
What was his argument?
A lot of it was, well, you don't know what I'm going to do yet, so... Which is a shitty argument, like...
Patient, are you trolling?
Rubber Justice?
Tater, read it aloud.
So, can I read this one, please?
Go for it.
I'd like to recommend a One Piece fic called Rubber Justice. It's been updated recently, and I very much like the direction it's taking.
Not bad.
Yes, I dare say you might have actually been better than Tater.
Since
Even
when
got his inflections down.
Since when does Patient speak with that accent, though?
Yeah, that was the problem I was having,
Tater.
with the accent.
Screw you,
Getting there
Tater.
halfway through, and that was it. Yeah.
Stop being so British!
No.
Still, the thing I hear, like, locally is stop being so American. So, you know, I can't win.
I'm sorry.
It seems that I have a few moments to speak presently.
Alright.
Ah, nice.
Hi, patient.
Hello, Casey. Hello, Spoken. Good imitations, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But yeah, that's something of a trolling on my part, but also a sincere recommendation and a successful attempt to make you laugh, Casey.
Yeah.
For those who don't get the joke, Casey is the one who is writing Rubber Justice. It's a Marine Luffy fic, and, well, as I said, I very much like the direction it's taking.
Well, in fairness, you helped direct the direction it's taking, but, that's okay. That's only slightly changing.
I'm the one who helps with the ideas and the voice. I'm not the one who comes up with the main plot. That all comes from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, I only have one fic that is not abandoned, which I actually updated all the summaries to say they're abandoned now. I only have one fic that is currently still ongoing that hasn't been updated in a year, which I'm presently trying to fix. So, that's cool.
That reminds me, I still need to read The Whitest Man in Skyrim.
You've been laughing at the name of it for the past, 6 months, and you still haven't read it?
Yes!
Seriously, Weasel?
It's Weasel. Are you honestly surprised?
No. At this point, no.
My boyfriend is nothing if not slightly immature.
Screw you! You can't see them
Okay,
flipping
I'm sorry.
you off.
I'm sorry. That was out of line. My boyfriend is nothing if not extremely immature.
There you go.
Much better. Okay, I just tried posting. I just tried posting a file of the picture that Vikinger drew me for my birthday, but notification came up saying that my files are too powerful. When did I become Terry Crews?
Damn, you're Stark. Damn it.
Power! That is a show.
Oh, God. Now I really want to do an Isaiah something. I forget what it is.
Mustafa.
Is it Mustafa? I
Yeah.
swear I looked it up and it's definitely not Mustafa, to be honest.
It is.
No, that was it.
I'll
I got it
double-check.
wrong because I kept typing in Mufasa. That was it. Yeah. I want to do an impression of him, but I don't remember anything that he says ever. So,
Now look at him. No, look at your man. Now look at me. Now look at your man. Now look at me.
No.
Screw you.
Can I just get
in
a
fairness,
vote?
in fairness, for spoken, you're both. So,
I'm on a horse.
I think we're done here.
I think so.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think that was a sufficient weasel note on which to end the podcast.
And I've made a good recommendation.
Yes, you
Yeah,
have.
sure. Okay. All right. So, thanks everybody for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 177. 777. If you want to get in contact with us, you can do so through the YouTube channel, through the comments. Please donate on Patreon if you feel so inclined. Once again, I'll leave it as Bye now.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
This was pathetic.
This was
How could it be when we had you on, Kenshi?
Because I had nothing to do with that ending.
He's got a point.
I thought it was fun.
So did I.
7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7.